Oh yeah, I do this every time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, this is a follow up on a video that I posted just a few hours ago. I feel different. I didn't expect that the little crash that I had with reality in the middle of the night would be anything. Um, but apparently it is, because um, I've successfully um, now that I've started work, it's been a more, I've dove into emails. I had a meeting where I was actively participating, and I'm showing up differently to myself. I'm not getting any feedback from other people, but I know what this, how this can resonate, because of the feedback that I got from people a while ago with my, um, when I had a major shift a few years ago. Um, taking things as they come. Um, taking things as they come. Just being. When it comes to identity, I recognize that this sounds floaty. I mean, I still feel like a person, but it's I recognize that sometimes I'll notice um, the identity process being, reminding me of, like, this is me, and just acknowledging it as a cognitive process that happens. Um, every emotion that comes floods the whole body. So when I was in a meeting, um, yeah, I guess I'm feeling a little euphoric. Um, just everything resonates in my whole body, and it's going. Um, everything is fun, and I'm, solving problems as they come. Ah, another meeting, 15 minutes. Um, yeah. I feel like my voice is more resonant, and I feel um, that it's not a moment to moment, like everything is fireworks, but moments of noticing. Like I stubbed my toe earlier this morning, and it was just this flush, and zeroing in on that sensation without ascribing pain to it. I'm like, that is a feeling. And then processing that, just having it be like this inspired, airy feeling in my whole body. And then like the one issue came up that there was a reaction of anger, and it was like, really, guys? And that was another flush through the body of like, it was, of course, nothing to get stuck on. It was like, okay, this is how we're going to deal with this. Totally fine. Because I know how things, everyone's doing their best. And sometimes their best is doing something that I don't agree with. I'm like, okay. So there isn't as much like getting stuck on something or needing to process thought-wise through something. Just allowing the body to get hit with something, and it's like when you have an impact, if it's on a point, on a contracted point, it hurts much more, and like processing it feels like it's much more complex because it hurts much more, and like processing it feels like it's much more complex because this is going to make no sense, but it's like how I think about it's an analogy for like if you hit something on a point, you're much more likely to like perforate it and damage it, like if you're um, hitting something with an ice pick, versus if you hit something with a hand or something, then the impact is spread through the surface or whatever, so you're not perforating, it just resonates with the impact and is undamaged. So that's what I'm feeling when it comes to experiences today, where instead of something hitting in this point of like, oh, I'm angry, or oh, ow, that hurt, it's my whole body is the platform where things resonate. And so nothing is perforated and nothing feels damaged. Nothing feels like it needs to. I mean, there's recovery, but the recovery is the resonance of the entire body going. It's like, oh, okay, that happened next. Looking forward to becoming more and more firsthand with reality being not a series, but a now, an ongoing now. I'm doing this with my hand, like that. It's a point jumping in place, and instead of this like a line that narrative forms. Right now, that's more of an understanding. But experience is just happening. I'm not constantly tying it. It takes me pausing and noticing to tie it into a line with thought of like, look, this is our narrative today. And that's fine. That's how the mind works. So it's been a fun morning. And I feel like this might be how what has sometimes been described as like the honeymoon period. We'll see what this looks like. I think the euphoria part is the honeymoon period, maybe, because it's my body. This is not used to this version of. I don't know. I'm not used to life being this much fun. So it might be just that orientation, the euphoria coming from kind of the disorientation of like, oh look, look how fun every moment can be. Notice I was going to put on a couple of bracelets that I have from, I guess they're like wrist malas, that I've worn sometimes, and they've kind of lost their power over time. But today I picked them up to just put them on, just holding them, whatever spiritual feeling I've gotten before, like in a Buddhist class or in a Buddhist meditation, just washed over me, like. So I thought this might be what people mean when they're like, "Oh, this object has power." Or this object, things have whatever power you ascribe to them. So because I know the context of those bracelets, just touching them, washed that over my body. I was like, there's the full effect of whatever it is that I ever got out of these, like charged items. So I didn't have to, putting them on felt wrong. So I just held them and allowed for that feeling to wash over my body for a few minutes and just really dwell in that. I'm like, all right. And then I put them down because it felt wrong to have that be something that is just casually worn. It's like, okay, I don't need this. And whatever, if I want this experience, I can come back and touch these and hold them for a second. And even talking about it now, that feeling is washing over. So that's fun. It's fun to be this receptive to absolutely anything, everything. And to be completely functional and not, I don't feel like a baby in a new world where it's like, oh my gosh, it's not every sensation that's high frequency coming at me. It's whatever pops up, I give that attention. And it's just here. New wave just hit. Anyway, it's a day of euphoria. We'll see how this goes. It's going to be an interesting week because I have a full, like I said in my other video, I've had a full week without my kid, and I'm going to have another full week without my kid because she's on winter break with her dad. Just to give a little bit of context, if this is the first video of mine that you've ever seen, I don't know if that's going to happen. As though I have a wide audience of more than 10 people. And those of you who are watching, thank you. It's nice to share with you. I've taken the opportunity this week uh, 5 minutes. This week to even though it was interjected with a lot of distraction, the intention has been, and I've succeeded here and there in pockets, to focus on this video is going to have breaking up stuff. I can tell that there's going to be skips. Okay. I've picked up pockets of focusing on sensation and a huge struggle for me that I thought would take longer. A wall that I walked up against is the need for the moment to be more special than it is. It's like, God, how is this connected to the universe and the non duality of self and object and subject? And, and I've been listening to a lot of this stuff. And I think I will post Adia Shanti's little excerpt in the description of this video too, which is in my previous video also, of that thing of like, what if the full experience is non-spectacular and you don't get to tap into an entire universe of reality? It's just your reality, just the sensation of this and that being where you are, and that's it. Um, I had a really hard time accepting that. This simplicity of committing to this experience, and not the universal everything experience. Uh, and when I let that go, so multiple days last week, I went to multiple like classes, yoga things, meditations. It's hard to describe what they do, but the Be Free Healing Center, there's just multiple things of tapping into sensation, really, uh, on different levels. Somatic stuff, this and that, music, um, sound, immersion, chakra stuff, yoga stuff. Um, so I bombarded myself with a lot of that in this such a loving community.